Hey, welcome back for another tutorial. Today I want to talk about glitches, and I think the best way to do this is we're going to mod auto-vj5000, and we're going to drop a glitch suite into it from one of my other shaders and then modify it from there. I think this will help keep the tutorial fun and interesting, and allow me to not have to get into the ultra nitty-gritty, but I will show you everything that I know about it. We may do this as multiple parts. We'll see how long the tutorial gets, but yeah, should be fun. Thanks for tuning in. Alright, so to get things started, we're going to make a new copy of auto-vj5000, and I'm going to do that in VS Code. So let me think about where it is. I think it's in here. We are going to grab this one, do a Control-C, Control-V. I'm going to rename it to, let's call it Glitch Jockey 5000. So then we'll find where that went, and we're going to open up our main files. And first things first, we're going to go over to the scene.json file, and we're going to rename it here. Alright, and then we'll hit Control S. We're going to go back over to Synesthesia. I'm going to come over to my scene library, click Refresh Library. It might take a little bit, and then we're going to look it up. There we go. I'm going to click the three dots and then the pencil. And this will bring us into edit mode. And everything seems to be working. Come over here, and yep, things are looking good. We got some reactivity, so this will be a good place to start. Alright, so now we're going to grab a glitch. I think we'll grab it from the Ferrofluid Speakerbox scene that was released previously. So let's go grab that from VS Code. Should be right in here. Yeah. So in pass index equal 3 is where the glitch code is contained. We're just going to go ahead and grab this whole chunk, and we're going to bring it over to glitch jockey, but instead of dropping it right in, we're going to make it into a function because I think it'll make things easier. Let's see, we'll put it right before the render main function. So I'm going to Control V for my paste. Just kidding. Let's make the function wrapper first. Pull my sleeves up. Okay, so we're going to call it, we'll call the function glitch jockey. So we're going to make it a vec4 because we're going to return a texture out of it. And we'll call it glitch jockey. We're going to pass it a pass, I think. So we'll do sampler 2D my pass. We'll maybe change these names later. I think that should be good to start. I'll figure out how to turn off that coding suggestion. That's annoying. Alright, and then we just pasted the code in here. And for a sanity check, let's go ahead. Oh no, it is going to fail. So we want to replace this second pass, all of these instances, with my pass. So we're going to go ahead and Control H, and then we're going to go my pass, and let's just replace these. Okay, that looks good. We also need to grab the controls. I think it's just this one glitch toggle. Let's go look. So we're going back to Ferrofluid Speakerbox, and I'm going into here and searching for glitch. And okay, we have glitch and glitch power. We're going to need these. So we'll copy paste that back over to glitch jockey. And I'll just go ahead and drop those controls in the bottom here. And they'll already be in their own UI group. So I think this should be enough to get us to compile. Let's find out. I just pressed Control R to reload, and it did. It's not actually going to do anything right now because we're not calling this function anywhere, but we at least know that our code compiles, and we can see that over here in our console log. Alright, so let's get this to do something. This is ready to roll, I'm pretty sure, so we just need to call this function somewhere in our code. And my first idea was to do that in this noise pattern here. So we actually are going to put it, I think we're going to replace this. We're going to change the color here, and that should get us started. So I'm going to copy this line. I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to press Control / and that will automatically comment out the line in VS Code if you're using this IDE for your code work. And then I'm going to paste it, but I'm going to replace this texture call with the call to glitch jockey. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a second parameter and pass the UV coordinates, just that way. If we do other UV manipulation, UV math later, our function will already be set up. So we're going to go back up to glitch jockey. I just did a Control F to jump quickly. And then, we want to add our second parameter. And since it's a UV coordinate, it's going to be a vec2. We'll call it UV. God, I need to figure out this suggestion. That's killing me. And then we're going to replace this UU coordinate. That's a little signature of mine with just our passed-in UV coordinate. So we don't actually have to change anything else. It's pretty sure UU is going to be called everywhere else throughout here. Giving a quick look, it seems that way. We'll do Control R. It still seemed to load, so that's good. And let's go ahead and turn glitching on and see if we get something. It doesn't look like anything just yet. I'm going to put on a little music, I think, and see what that does. Okay, so it does not appear to be doing anything. Let's take a look at what's going on here. So we're definitely getting the pass. This is returning. Oh, you're getting the real thing. I haven't done this yet. Let's see. Effect layer 1 is on, so let's start there. We'll turn effect layer 2 off. I'm going to turn all this stuff off, actually. And then let's reload. Alright, and there is the glitching. It's coming through. We can see it on the edges here. It's just not very defined, so that's a good place to start. Let's see. Cool. Let's start with, let's go look at the glitch jockey. Alright, so we're in there. This GP, this stands for glitch power. Let's go ahead and rename that. Then we need to find all of our instances of GP and replace those as well. It's only 2. Okay. So this is, let's work up to this. I'm going to go ahead and take this down. We're going to copy this line and create a new line. Comment it out. That was the Control /. And then let's just get rid of this altogether. And let's just do syn hits. So we'll look at all the drum hits. Leaving it at a power 1 is going to, you'll see. Let's see what it does. It really shifts these lines pretty significantly, and not necessarily in a great way, unless you're a static fan. I got a buddy like that. Looking at you, Nox Lumina. Anyway, yeah. So we want to lower this power, obviously. So we can start by doing we have their glitch power shade slider. So the glitch power slider, let's close this, and we'll close this one. So glitch power is a slider that moves from 0 to 1. So this is ideal for using mixing functions, which is my preferred way. So looking at syn hits, that's going to be our audio reactive component, and then we are going to add a mix function. We're going to say mix times, we'll start at 0.0, that way when glitch power is all the way down, it's off. I kind of prefer to do it that way. I used to program it where if the toggle was on, you're getting a little bit of glitch no matter what, but I understand not wanting to turn the toggle on and then have to turn, or like turning on anyway, it makes it more intuitive, in my opinion. So let's go to 0.5, and then we'll say glitch power, name of our slider. The semicolon's already there. So we'll come back over, click reload, and we can see as we bring this glitch power all the way down, there's no more glitching. Turn this feedback off. Okay. And now, as we bring it up, you can see here, like we're at 0.05, so that's only really 0.025, and like it's a nice little screen jitter, and it ramps up pretty significantly. Ooh, little desk noise there. Anyway, yeah. So this is a quick glitch on every drum beat. Switching over here to syn on beat is something I really enjoy using. So it's just not as constant of a glitch. It's only when beat's detected, it happens real fast. And yeah, it's nice, punchy. You can get even punchier here. It does start to interrupt the smoothing, but something I enjoy using is a inline conditional. And so how that works is, let's go ahead and wrap this in parentheses so it's a bit easier to see the difference. And I'll give you some spacing. So syn on beat, when this audio variable is used, it goes up from, when a beat's detected, it launches from 0 to 1 and then rapidly decays. And it's only on beat detected, so presumably less occurrences than using syn on hits. So we can create a window and say if syn on beat is greater than some value, then do this. So for this case, we're going to do syn on beat greater than sign, and I guess this is kind of like filtering in a way, where if I say syn on beat greater than 0.9, then I'm only going to do this next step in the upper 10% of syn on beat. So it should significantly cut down the time that this glitch is actually executing when a beat is detected. So first you start out with your conditional. In this case, it's syn on beat greater than 0.9. Then you put a question mark, and that's to denote that the conditional part of your statement is done. And then you put your, if this is true value, or if this is false value. So in the most simple case, you could say when syn on beat is greater than 0.9, return 1.0, which means it'll be a full powered glitch in our glitch power range. And when it's not in that range, then make it 0.0. So let's see this in action. We're going to Control R. And yeah, look how flashy that is. Is it good? I'll let you be the judge of that. Maybe in certain scenarios, I actually would probably use this in a feedback loop, and I think we'll get into that for part 2. So on the reverse, we could also say for 0.1, so while it's not the start of it, it does allow us a little more time to play with in that window. And so yeah, there's a lot more time for your glitch effect to come in and for it to be played around with. So right now we're sending full power when our condition is set to true, but here is now where we can nest drum hits. So let's say let's go back to the upper 90 for now. So at the very top, when our beat is detected and it's almost at its full time before it's going to start coming back down, we're going to look at syn high hits. And when it's not, well, let's start here. Okay, so it doesn't even actually register all the time, probably because my voice, but so that's an interesting thing. It's not always recognized, but when it hits the right note, it brings in a very quick flash of a glitch. I don't know if I like it as much either. Let's grab the full range. So we're just gonna say when syn on beat is greater than 0, let's register the syn high hits for our glitch effect. And honestly, it's much smoother. Power's still pretty high, but it's good for the example. Okay, so then in the reverse, like if syn on beat, essentially in this scenario, it's when syn on beat is off. Do you still want it to glitch? And realistically, probably not. I mean, you can control it with glitch power, but let's see. Let's do syn bass presence, something like completely opposite. And so I don't know if I like it as much, but it does kind of, let's see with music. I'm going to throw a little music on. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. I think I like this for now, but I don't want it to be happening all the time. So let's go ahead and make this 0.5. So in the upper 50 percentile of a beat being detected, it'll do syn high hits, and in the lower, it'll do syn bass presence. But at the same time, I still don't want it to be susceptible to glitching even when syn on beat is, or when a beat is not detected, so then you essentially have a glitch on at all times, which actually isn't the worst thing, especially if you manipulate the values. So I guess we could take that two ways. I'm starting to get up here on time, but I think this is worthwhile, so let's keep going with it. I'm going to start with modifying the syn bass presence, and let's switch it to level, something a little more punchy. Bass presence is good for that sort of like slow, like it's just kind of like vibrating, rumbling. Y'all should experiment with this after, obviously, but for now, let's give it a 25% of syn bass level. You multiply it by 0.25. We're going to click reload, and we got a nice little jitter there. It is really punching. Let's bring this down. Actually, let's bring it up. Yeah, that's cool. I like that little bit of it. It is very aggressive when it does hit, but it's definitely a good starting spot. So in the reverse, or it's not the reverse, the next step, if we want to, we don't want this beat to be detected, or we don't want this glitch to happen all the time. We only want this effect to occur during a beat detected event. Then what we're going to do for that is we're going to make this a compound conditional statement. And we're going to say, how do we do this? We're going to say ampersand, which means it stands for and in this syntax. So we're saying when sin on beat is greater than 0.5 and sin on beat is greater than 0.1? No, that doesn't make sense. Oh, okay. I think we actually could do it in here. I'm sorry, I'm thinking this through live right here. So sin on beat is greater than 0.1. That's our bottom range. So when sin on beat is greater than 0.1, go to our true here. And if it's not, then I don't want to do anything, so we're going to return 0. But then within our truth state, our true statement, so sin on beat is greater than 0.1, yes. Then let's do another conditional. We're going to wrap this in parentheses. And now we're going to say sin on beat greater than 0.5 question mark. That's the end of our conditional. Oh, I'm outside of my parentheses. Okay. So sin on beat greater than 0.5, yes. Then do sin high hit. It's else, that's our semicolon or our colon, the 2 dots. And then else, let's do sin base level. Okay. So is sin on beat greater than 0.1? Yes. Let's say it in the reverse, it's easier. If sin on beat greater than 0.1, no, it's not, false, do nothing. That's our 0.0. If it is greater than 0.1, now we're in the range of the effect that we want to work with. Now, and we're going to check where we're at in sin on beat again. So we're above 0.1. Are we above 0.5? Yes. We're detecting sin high hits. If we're below 0.5, but still above 0.1, so our 0.49 repeating to 0.10 infinite O's to 1, or whatever, 32-bit, 64-bit, some number, sin base level. So let's see this in action. And yeah, I like that a lot more. It gives a nice kind of shift, switch up, and we'll throw a little music in the background. I'm actually not sure if y'all will be able to hear this. Wow, that is really slamming. I like that. That's nice. And I think actually what I want to do to kind of wrap this one up is instead of sending 0.0, just having it off, let's go sin presence, just kind of a light vibration, and we're going to hit it with, let's really tone it down, 0.1. That might be too low, but we'll go ahead and reload. And yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of a jitter on the edge. It's kind of hard to see. Let's bring this up. Yeah, so it's always a little glitchy. I think that kind of eases into the effect more than just the hard cut, especially if you're playing with smaller ranges of sin on beat. So let's look at that real quick. So we know that this is our lower range and this is our upper range for the beat. And I think we're just going to go ahead and sculpt this out in controls real quick. So we're going to call it glitch filter. That sounds cool. Let's do float. Float. Lower. Glitch. Limit. And we're going to make that let's go ahead and we'll just make it a control. I like the name, but we don't need to make a float. We're just gonna make a control here. So we got our lower glitch limit. Get rid of this. And we got upper And let's go add these as controls in our scene.json. We're just going to copy this glitch power, and I think I'm going to make this its own section. Call it glitch. Oh shit. Glitch filter. Is that how you spell filter? And this is going to be lower. Glitch limit. And this will be upper glitch limit. And I guess for this, let's go ahead and limit the range, just because I don't want to mess with the math, and like we may get in some weird, hit the mic. We may get in some weird stuff, with them clipping over each other. We can explore that later, but let's do it like this. I think that should be good to go. And let's go ahead and load our scene. And it is, love when it works the first time out. So yeah, as we bring this up, we can lower the higher this goes with our current code implementation. Let me switch over. The higher the lower glitch limit goes, then the more range we have for this to be, for our syn presence to just kind of vibrate and hum on the edge of our glitch. So we'll get more of that hum the higher this value goes. The lower it is, then more rapidly we transition into our drum-based glitch section within our beat detection. And the upper glitch limit, so as this one comes higher, then we are increasing the range for bass level to hit and decreasing the range in which our syn hi hits are detected. So even just playing with these two sliders, you can get some pretty nice variability in the way your glitch transforms. And yeah, I think that's probably a good spot to stop this one. I hope that you've learned something and it was enjoyable, and I hope the sound comes out okay, because I'm trying my best. Anyway, we'll pick up in part 2, and yeah, thanks for tuning in. Have fun. When I was reviewing the tutorial for editing, I noticed that I introduced a slight bug, and the bug here is that this glitch only becomes available if all effect layers are turned off. We can see that here if I play a little music. So you can see that so when the effect layers, as the code currently stands, are turned to off, we get the glitch. But if I turn this effect layer 1 on, and then we'll play a little music, you can see that the glitch isn't happening. So to fix that, we just want to go into the code and come over to the main.glsl, and at line 182 we're setting the color to be equal to the glitch jockey, but for the sake of this tutorial, this means that we're only looking at color if get effect is nothing. So, and that's caused by this mix function down here. Effect layer 1 is on, so do the effect, but we're actually only patching the glitch jockey function to the color. So to remedy this, we're going to revert line 181 and come over here and drop this in this lower effect pass. So we'll comment that out, put this here, and switch this to effect pass A. And now if we go back and reload, we have effect layer 1 on. We should be able to see the glitch take effect. And there it is. So there you have it. Make that change at the end or in the beginning if you watch this tutorial out of order, and you should be set up and good to go. And I look forward to getting into part 2 soon here.